This is an overview of your epidemiological study critique. And I want to highlight the fact that there are two resources here for you that will help you as you're completing your critique. And just remember, as you're doing your critique, the big picture is you are using your critical analysis skills to determine the quality of the study, not necessarily providing a summary of the study. You may include some information about what was found to illustrate your points. However, the real focus is pulling out those factors as far as the quality of that particular study and the strength of that particular study. So with that being said, really looking at biases, and this is the article that's included here actually goes through different types of biases and how to identify those. So again, it helps you to think through the process of determining whether the biases are there. And very often we again have to use our critical analysis skills to determine whether or not a bias is indeed evident. It's not like the authors are going to say, I was biased and did this. So that's what's really important to look at. And this is, it's kind of clunky, but it really has some good information about bias and confounding as well. And you will find this resource to be very helpful. So if you have any questions, let me know. But this is a really strong, both of these are strong supplements to the critique process. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the rubric. So when we're diving into the critique itself, the process is really to analyze an epidemiological study and looking at how to use what we've gained so far in the course and apply that in your critical analysis skills. So this is, the rubric is basically step by step what you're going to do as you analyze an article. So this is a learning exercise as well. So really follow the rubric and it will help with that thought process to kind of solidify that thought process. As you move forward, you will need to use these same types of skills as you're working forward in your program. So this is not a real long assignment, and the page numbers are usually 4 to 5 pages, and just always remember that this is really looking at your competencies regarding your critical analysis, not necessarily a summary of the study. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're talking about the quality of the study and your judgment and what substantiates your judgment on the quality of the study, not necessarily the content of the study. So keep that in mind, and that will help you to refine the length of your document as well. So with that being said, we're going to start out, and I know that standard format in APA does not include a heading that says introduction, but for the purpose of this paper, we're going to use introduction as a heading. So take a look at the bullet points, and we're really going to do an overview of the study itself, the importance of the study, and kind of an overview of that abstract, because that's where sometimes we pick up on some of the biases that authors may want to really find what they sought to gain through the study, and sometimes the results don't correlate with that. So keep that in mind as you're looking, and what you want to do is make sure that there's congruence throughout the study as you look at the introduction. Is there congruence? Do the measures really focus on the objectives or the aims or the hypothesis of the study? And did that literature review involve those same types of things? So you want to make sure that everything ticks and ties within the study, and the introduction is a good place to get started to really see what the aims are the objectives or the hypothesis. So you want to look at the research design, make sure that it's appropriate, and what type of controls may be there, what in the design decreased bias, those types of things. And then look into the sampling. How was the sampling done? Did the sampling get or skew things a little bit because of the size of the sample or what the sample was made of. All those types of questions that roll through your mind really critically look at how the sampling was done, and does the sampling lend to any type of bias at all. So talking about data collection, you want to make sure that you analyze how the data was collected. Was it consistent? What type of audiences do we have, and how was the data collected? Was it in congruence with the particular audience? All those types of questions. And then take a look at those specific biases and confounders that you may have identified as you were analyzing the study. And then with the data analysis, did the authors really analyze the data based on objective information, or were they looking for what they sought to gain through the study? So were they just pulling out points that substantiated their particular premise, or were they really looking in an objective way that maybe something didn't show what they intended or what they expected? So all those questions, keep asking those questions, and that's really one of the key factors as far as doing any type of analysis. Then take a look at the conclusion, and how did the authors conclude? And then go into a summary as far as the strengths and the weaknesses. Is this really good information? Did it go into some of the components of the causal association, and it has information in here as far as where to look in the book, and then go into the reflection and the structure and the mechanics. The readability is something that I will be looking for, and make sure that you follow your APA manual and use the 7th edition when you follow the APA guidelines. And I do have some pointers for you as well, where to find some resources that will help you as you're writing in APA format. So if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. I look forward to reading your critiques. Take care now.